much indeed for that. Matt, talking about people that he has served, talks about serving a couple of well-known personalities in the Chameleons Club in Darlaston. Matt, I'm not going to read that out as if I would, but it's very funny all the same. Colin Tamworth, talking about celebs you have served, says, I've served lots of celebs back in the 80s. I was a waiter at the Night Out Theatre in Birmingham before it became the Dome. Barbara Windsor, David Essex, Crystal Gale, the Nolans, just to name a few. Best job I ever had, says Carl in Tamworth. Let's speak to Mario in Erdington. Hello, Mario.
Hi, Edwin.
Hello, matey. So have you served a celeb?
Yes, I have, yes.
Go on.
I thought to share this with you and your
Please, yeah, go on.
Well, I was in catering for a long time, 35 years of my life, and obviously I served many people, you know, from Shirley Bassey, Omar Sharif, Boy George, so many.
Really? Were you working locally when you were doing this?
Yes, I was working at the Hilton Hotel, at the NEC.
Yeah.
And obviously, there used to be lots of these people all the time coming in, and I was working on the room service. So obviously, I was in charge of all the floors. You know, we used to look after about 1,000 rooms.
Yeah.
And we had many people to look after, you know. And I remember we had the Prince of Brunei, as you say it.
These are some good names to drop, Mario. Shirley Bassey, Omar Sharif, the Sultan of Brunei.
Yeah, and Prince of Qatar, the Prince of Qatar. I remember I went into his room and one morning to check his bar, and I found him on the floor. Actually, I thought he was dead.
Oh, my God.
And but he wasn't. He was sleeping.
Was that just
they like hard mattresses, you know, so they like hard beds. So obviously he was on the floor.
That's great. That's great. And you mentioned, you know, big names, Shirley Bassey, Omar Sharif. Did any of them leave a particular impression on you, either because they were particularly friendly, generous tippers, or was anybody a little bit nasty to you, a little bit sneering?
No. I mean, I remember Roxy Music, Brian Ferry. Yeah. I did a special dinner party for him and his wife. He just finished his concert at the NEC, and he came back to his room at 10 o'clock, and I had his dinner prepared. And obviously, a very nice man, very polite, absolutely really stuck in my mind, you know.
So
but the reason why I'm bringing you is
go on, Mario.
The pinnacle of my career, serving people, important people like that, was the Queen Mother.
Oh.
So, and that's why I'm ringing you, for this very reason.
Yeah.
I was called by the general manager at the time, was Mr. Golby, to say that I was to be look after the Queen Mother when she was coming into our hotel the following day. So you can imagine I was very apprehensive.
Yeah.
But anyway, cut the story short, she arrived the following day. She had some sort of ceremony at the NEC next door to us.
Yeah.
And she was using the Hilton as a base, refreshment, refreshing herself and things like that. So obviously she had a suite on the 5th floor of the Hilton. And when she arrived, they called me in, obviously, to look after this lady, in the sense that if she wanted anything like a drink or something, a refreshment within the room itself.
Yeah.
So security outside, nobody allowed to go in, and I felt like 7 feet tall, to be honest with you. To go into the room and allowed to actually to be near her. I went into the room. She had a suite, intercom rooms, bedroom and a lounge.
Yeah.
And when I went in, I actually spoke to the lady in waiting, an old lady that obviously she asked me my name, and then she said to me that Mum is next door, and she might come in for a refreshment,
Yeah.
And she did. And she opened the door, she came in, and obviously, she asked my name, my family, my children's, and all these questions. I thought she was enchanting, a really lovely lady. I mixed her drinks. I remember, I think something like a Dubonnet and dry martini or something like that.
Did you say, Mario, because you did have a reputation for being a bit of a tippler, did she hold your arm as you were tipping the Dubonnet in, so you put a bit more in?
No. No, she was a very nice and charming lady,
Yeah.
And I gave her this long drink. She had a sip, and then she basically thanked me, and she went into the other room. So, and that's it. Then obviously, there was no reason for me to stay there any longer.
Ah, glorious memory though. Mario,
that
lovely.
Was the top of my, and I thought to share this with you because such a wonderful lady.
Absolutely. You're not going to top that, are you, Mario? That's brilliant. Served du bonnet to the Queen Mum. Oh, I bet she had a little extra in, didn't she? If I know the Queen Mum. But he also served Shirley Bassey, Omar Sharif, the Sultan of Brunei. A lovely text as well from John in Sheldon. He sends me a picture through. He says, Ken Dodd with some of the beach bar staff at the Beachcombe Bar at Butlins in Minehead in July 1994 after the late night cabaret where I was the licensed bar supervisor. Ken came off at 3:45 a.m, 3:45 in the morning, then joined the bar staff for a drink and a chat until 7:30 a.m. Most of the young bar staff on duty that night are now grandparents with stories to tell their grandchildren about the night they spent with Ken Dodd. Wonderful, kind man. That's lovely, John in Sheldon. Thank you. Keep them coming. The celebs you have served. And are people afraid to speak out against gay marriage?